first thing that I experienced that I've never had before is just, instead of like having a massive like revelation or vision or anything, I just had like complete peace for the first time, I think.
I remember speaking out to him and I was like, Lord, I want to give you my everything. And I didn't say it at a volume where people wouldn't hear me, so I'd be quiet, like I was blended in. Like I said at this volume, even louder. And Lord, I want to experience you again. Like I want a physical encounter with you again. So I've not had one of those in ages. And it all went from 0 to 100. First of all, I kind of felt really warm and fuzzy. And then I felt somebody like physically grasp the back of my head. And from that, there was no words spoken or anything. Like she was just praying over me. And then I just started crying. And it was a nice cry, and it was pretty ugly crying. And I don't really do that often. Not really a big out there with my emotions type of person.
It was also a really nice way for us to connect as youth and kind of transfer some of what we felt and experienced at Chosen back into Pneuma.
One of my core memories, it was one day and there were people around me like getting prayed for, and I hadn't been prayed for yet, like so far. And I was just thinking like I really want to get prayed for because there are some things that like I need to get prayed for. It was during the worship and this girl, she came up to me but she tapped me on the shoulder and I was like, and I turned around and she said, are you a dancer by any chance? And I was like, no, I don't usually dance. And she said, that's really interesting because every time I look at you, I see you as a dancer for God, and I see you up at the front with the flag, really like surrendering everything to Jesus. And that like has really stuck with me ever since then.
One of my favourite things about Chosen, it's ironic that I say this, but it was actually the car journey. I quite enjoyed, I was with the Zion and Ed, which, you know, got interesting after Zion took my grapes. But it was the feeling of like the anticipation of on the way there, we were like, oh, I wonder what Jesus is going to do, wonder what new people we're going to meet, what new experiences we're going to have. And then on the way back, it was that sense of peace. I mean, most of the car journey we slept, so it was very peaceful. But it was that sense of fulfillment that we came back knowing we got what we wanted and we got what we, you know, went for. And we had some good discussions as well. And I think another one of my favourite memories, also not necessarily Jesus related, but the silent disco was really fun. It was just a lovely time to, some songs were worship songs, some were like just, you know, bangers. But we all just had so much fun together, and it was a really nice way to connect with people we haven't really connected with. We all got quite close with each other over Chosen, like even now we still share Bible verses with each other, do a little verse of the day. Like we pray for each other on our first day of school and stuff like that. It was a really nice time for all of us to bond with people who we already know and people who, you know, we haven't known that much.
Chosen really helped us know that even though some people don't like spending time with other people, you can still get together and have fun time and enjoy your time.
In the night time, I don't think people weren't awake during that time. I was just like, I woke up and I was like, okay, let me just like pray for a bit, you know, because I couldn't go to sleep. And then I remember having like I had like a voice kind of, and it was just like, I wasn't sure if it's Jesus, I wasn't sure if it was just in my imagination. I went to Portugal for the summer and I was playing this song, No One Like the Lord, and I just kept on replaying it. It was a song that they played at Chosen, which really got to me. And then I remember I had the voice again. Like, this is in the middle of the night, by the way. I just heard the voice and I was like, okay, this is happening again. I know this is not me just imagining this. So then I just started like praying to Jesus. And during that time, I was thinking about, people usually feel the songs of the worship and everything because like, oh, they like the song, like you're looking for it. But no, when you worship Jesus, you need to make sure that it's not because of the song, but you're thinking about him. If you're just singing the song because you just want to sing, it's not worship anymore. You're just doing it for your own like, which I usually do a lot. But now, like this time, I was actually thinking about Jesus. I was praising him and I was praying. I was like, Lord, like I've never felt like this before. Times that I started crying, I'm not sure if it was like really me just worshiping you, or is it just me just doing it for fun and everything. And I just started crying and crying and crying. And then I was like, the Lord was just like with me, and I could felt like his hand on my back, and I was like, wow. And I was like, he's just with me everywhere. Even times that I don't really show it to him, but he knows that I love him.
Youth are the new generation, and we are the generation, what did they call it, Chosen? They called it the revival generation. We are the generation that's going to bring Jesus in, like, into our families, like when we have children, into all of our families. We are, we are dependent on the fact that Jesus is in our lives.